Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Okay, I'm doing good. And something I was just talking to my dad today morning, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make padwal. And I wanted like the stuffed padwal recipe that my mom used to make, which is stuffing it with besan. And my dad was like, you know what? You should start recording yourself doing these amazing recipes. So I'm like, let's just decide. This is just for my fun. Not posting this anywhere. But so yeah, so let's do that. And so here we go. Padwal is basically snake gourd. I'm sorry, I already got it started with the process and then started recording. So this is basically padwal, and I just cut it into these rolls. You can make it as wide or as narrow as you want. Some of them have made narrow, some of them are like slightly wide, but yeah, I just thought that it's nice to keep it like this is perfect, or like this size is good enough so that it cooks well as well, and it's not too this thing. So what I did was I just cut the snake gourd down, and then all you have to do is just clean the interiors and make them into like these discs. And I've just cleaned them up and put them here. So that's the first step. So let me continue doing that, and I'm just gonna place you, I don't know where. So let me just place you somewhere in it. And yeah, of course I'm watching YouTube. I'm actually watching, let me skip that. I'm actually watching Lone Fox. Get this thing. Okay, I need to take this out. Okay, so all my padwal has been cut and cleaned. So the next step is I'm going to cut some coriander. I think those are the only vegetables I need, and then we'll start making the batter. So let's go do that. I'm going to clean this up, and I have some fresh coriander. This is just some of the last ones that I need to use, and yep, let's do that. Okay, so now that we are done chopping our coriander and our padwals are all ready and all set to go. Yep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the mixture. So for that, the besan stuffing mixture. So for that, I'm just going to, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to just transfer these padwals back to my chopping board. I don't think you need to put them in water or anything. I'm just making it like immediately. So I think that's fine. And yeah, so this is my fresh batch of, so the old coriander I'm all used up. This is my fresh batch of coriander. So the way I store it is that I don't kind of wash it immediately. I just cut off the stems, put like a fresh clean towel to soak up all the moisture, and so this has holes which are open for the air to flow in, so there's ventilation, and then I just store it in the fridge. There we go. That's done. Now let's make the batter. So for the batter, we are going to take, so this is besan, here we go. And oh well, I'm new to this. Figure it out later how to get these things done. But yeah, so you take the besan. I'm just eyeballing it. I don't know, like for these many padwals, how much do I need? So one thing to keep in mind is that the batter that we will be making, I think I took like about a cupful probably. So I took like about a cupful of besan. I think that should be enough for these. So the way we want to go about doing it is that the batter shouldn't be as thin as that of a how do I say, it shouldn't be as thin as that of what you make for bhaji or something like that. This should be thicker because we want the batter to like stay and hold in place in this. So we may need a bit more besan. I'm going to eyeball it and go. I might just take a little bit more. So maybe like say a cup and a half of besan, and not to worry if a little bit more besan is left. Indeed, it's good. We can just use it later. So we're done with this. I'm gonna put this back in place, and then let's get our masala box out. So this is very simple. This recipe, it's just going to have okay, so just to show you guys, so this is my masala box. So I have all the spices. I have of course turmeric, garam masala, kanda lasun masala, dhane jeera pood, chili powder, jeera, and mustard seeds. So yeah, that's what I have. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to add, so this is the besan that I have. So I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric, just a little bit of cumin, and I'm going to add like a big spoonful of dhane jeera pood, a little bit of, so my the chili depends on you. Mine is on the spicier side, so I just added like about half to 3/4 teaspoon of it. And then actually I'm not going to add, so you can add the garam masala, but that's not what I'm going to add. I'm going to add Gourd masala to it. So this is my masala. I found the Gourd masala, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put like couple of 1 spoonful of Gourd masala in here. So let's do that. I can hopefully do this with one hand. Let's see. Again, I'm just eyeballing stuff, guys. It usually works out for me. I've been cooking for a while, so yeah, it's not perfect. Sometimes I do mess up. Not gonna die, but yeah, it's good enough. So yeah, I think this much of Gourd masala sounds good. That reminds me, this is almost getting over, so I need to add it to my grocery list to get it next time. So yeah, so we added Gourd masala, and one other thing that I'm going to add to this is amchur powder, which is dry mango powder, which I saw in one of the YouTube videos that they added to something else, but I'm just going to add very little bit of it. So like half a teaspoon of amchur powder to this mixture. Awesome. So we are done here. So I'm gonna like put you guys down and close it, and then I'm just gonna mix all this together. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave you guys there because that's easy. And now we are gonna add some salt per taste. But I would say for this sabji, like I think 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of salt should be good enough. And then I like to add some sugar. So I have some brown sugar in here. And I've stopped using cane sugar. I'm using brown sugar now, just healthier option. So I'm just going to use like, just again, half a teaspoon of sugar. It just helps bring out the flavors better. So so you've added salt and sugar. So a little bit of sugar and we're all set. So that is the basic stuffing that you would do. Now I'm going to add all our chopped cilantro in this. And yeah, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of like mix it with hand to get all these masalas mixed. And then, as I mentioned, we don't want to make this like a runny, watery batter. So we're going to add water very lightly so that we can stuff the batter in this and it will hold the shape. So let's start adding water. I added like very little, and I'm using my hands. I did clean my hands before I dump my hands in any of the food. So yeah, I did clean this. And yeah, I think a little bit of water goes a long way because we added the cilantro as well, and when you massage it in, it also releases water. So yeah, okay, I know you guys can't see this, but you know what, let me just do this and then I will show you guys what this looks like. So I'm just a very tiny amount, like tiniest bit more. Okay, just a tiny amount of water. Yeah, the thing to keep in mind is that, yeah, just use very little amounts of water because we want the batter to hold and not run around. Okay, so now let me show you. I think this is good enough. I'm gonna add a little bit. Oh, actually, you know what, my mom did tell me to add oil, so let's add oil to this. And get rid of this. I use avocado oil, Wellesley Farms, which is basically BJ's brand. I'm kind of liking it, actually. It's been nice. I kind of switch up oils between olive, avocado and stuff. So okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of okay, that's too much, sorry. I shouldn't add it by talking to you, but I'm adding like a little bit of oil. I did put in a little bit too much, but we'll ignore that. But yeah, okay, I think this is perfect. This is rocking it. So let me show you guys now. There you go. Do you see the consistency? So this is the consistency that you want, like, so that, you know, it will hold the shape in your padwal. So now let's go ahead and stuff these. So yeah, this will hold its shape in the padwal and it won't just like loosen and fall out. So cool, let's do that next. Okay, so now we're back to the regular standard view of me just stuffing the padwal with this Besan mixture. So that now you realize why I didn't want to make it deeper, because these are open from both the sides, so you want something that would, like, you know, not be too thick so that it doesn't just stay in. So there we go. So I think, do you see that? It's holding its shape and it is indoors in the padwal. I can actually stuff it with a little bit more. So yeah, we're done with one. And now we will do the 10 others. I'm just gonna put you in time-lapse mode now. Almost done stuffing all my padwals except like 3 of these, which the batter got over, sadly. So well, it's part of the process. So I just became a little bit more creative, and what I did was, with the remaining coating, I just massaged it over the padwal. So typically, actually, to be honest, you could just, the beauty of this is that it's an easy fix. Just make some more of this Besan mixture and stuff it in there. But I was kind of lazy and I was like, I'm just gonna be creative and instead just massage whatever was left onto these padwals and kind of like, you get what I mean. I've just marinated them. Anyways, so yeah, so we have some couple of beautifully stuffed padwals, as well as like a variation of me just coating the padwals with the thing. And by the way, I did taste the mixture and it's delicious, if I may say so myself. But anyways, so the next step is we are going to cook these, and it's again a simple thing. So let's go on and have my kadhai on the gas stove, and we are just going to do the same things as we would do normally. So I'm going to add some oil to this, and so technically we are just going to give it a fodni or tadka. Fodni is what you'd call it in Marathi. So yeah, so I'm just going to add a little bit of the same almond oil, not too much, and to this we're just going to add cumin, maybe some mustard seeds, and a lot of hing, and also kadhi patta. Now I don't have kadhi patta, unfortunately, but yeah, that's a great addition to do this. So I'm just gonna put that in here, wait for this to get hot, and then we're all set to put our padwals in this, and then we'll basically cook the padwals until the besan is cooked in it. So this might take some time, but it's gonna be delicious in the end. So let's do that. So as you can see, I've put cumin, mustard, and hing into it. So hing is actually asafoetida, and in the Indian store you might see a dabba that looks something like this. And interestingly, this has see, compounded asafoetida powders. So as you can see, our cumin and mustard seeds have started crackling a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but yeah, so I think it's good time. I don't want to like burn them, so I'm going to like start putting in the padwals in here now. We have all the padwals in there. They are going in, getting cooked. So ideally, if it was a much more flatter bottomed pan, would be nice to do this. But yeah, this fits my bill anyways for now. So yeah, we're just gonna let this cook. It's already smelling so good, guys. And I'm just gonna cover this and let it cook for a couple of minutes before I turn them around. Okay then, so I let them cook on one side for about 5 minutes, and then I flip them over, and you can see they're sizzling, they're popping, and they're smelling good. So yeah, so I think definitely one thing that I would recommend is that don't make these as like a narrower than this. Yeah, make it narrow and not too big, because that works well. I mean, at least for like a small quantity if you're trying to make them. And it will also help cook these pretty well. So I'm going to let these again cook for another 5 minutes on the other side. And then I might just add some water because this is like cooking the, we kind of cooked the besan, but I also want the padwal to be cooked. So we're just going to add a little bit of water to steam the padwals and cook them as well. So yeah, and yeah, it's all on medium heat. So if you look at here, it's all medium heat. So they are looking good. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna like reduce the heat, and then I'm gonna add like a little bit of water. And yeah, so I think the big pieces would get cooked until then, and then we're all good to go. Yay! Okay. So there we go. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. Whoa, you can see how hot that is. And now I'm gonna cover that. Couple more minutes and we're sorted. And I'm gonna make some parathas to go with these. So you have it. We are all done. I'm going to turn it off. So it should look something like this. You can see that the padwals are all cooked and shriveled up. That's an indication. And I'm just making myself some parathas. So of course those are frozen. I love me some Malabar parathas version. But anyways, I'm gonna treat myself. It's Sunday. So yeah, so I'm gonna have that with this. And that's all, folks. That's the recipe for you. I'll definitely taste it and let you know how good it was. I'm definitely sure it's gonna be good. One thing to note is that yes, this is a dry sabji, so technically you would kind of might want to like have like a gravy-ish curry along with it, but I just like to eat it as is. That's how I roll, so we're gonna go with it. Awesome. So I hope you guys liked this recipe. Thanks to my mom and thanks to my dad for like just motivating me to just shoot it. So I literally did this on a whim, guys. Like I'm not even, this is me on a Sunday in the house. I'm not even dressed or anything. I was like, he said shoot it, and I was like, let me do it. Anyways, hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you all later. Bye.